Mark from Mark's Home Hobbies, coming at you with another update. WLToys K969 is now officially a rear-wheel drive drift car. Yeah, this battery here is what I plan on using in this car. I have to design a servo mount so that this will clear this new motor mount that I made and the cut-off drive shaft. I still need to trim the drive shaft just a little bit. It's just a little bit too long. Let's see if we can get some light here and I'll show it to you. It's just that much too long, which is okay. I just want it to be flush with the bearing so it doesn't rub up against the side of the battery here, you know, like when you put the battery in a long way this way. And then the receiver will be right up over here at that point. Right now it's over on this side back here. Let's see if we can get that. Yep, it's right over there in the corner. And then that's the $7 Chinese speed control on top of the servo there. And I did a little bit of work to the front end. I finally got a 2mm tap, and I drilled and put a ball link on that. And when I was cutting the transom, the upper half of the transmission, I noticed it was burnt through. One of the bearings must have been failing or something up in there. You know, the drive shaft or the differential output bearings must have been getting hot, and it melted right through the case. So when I cut it, the other end of the transom came off. So what I did was I put some screws and washer on there, and it's just got, you know, the upper control arm against the one side there. Seems to be pretty substantial, and it works alright. I had to open the hole up a little bit just so everything would work smooth. And then I'm just using the stock tie rod in the stock servo connector rod there. I don't know if I'm going to change that just yet. I was trying to drive the car, just doing some test laps downstairs just to see how this new motor setup will work there, this raised motor setup, which by the way works great. Comment if you want me to tell you how I did it. If you can't see it already, I'll explain it to you further. It's done with a 3D printer and a little bit of time in a CAD program. If you want to learn how to do that, yeah, ask me. I might tell you how I do it. Other than that, you can see the steering angle here is greatly increased now, which is good, but still seems like it could use maybe just a little bit more. So I designed some parts, and I'll be taking apart the steering here and doing a bell crank system on there, much as most of the other people that have rear wheel drives have a bell crank on there. And yeah, we'll make use of some of the extra bearings we have on hand now somehow. And yeah, she runs pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's decent. Kind of hard to drive right now because of it's a short wheelbase. I have never extended the wheelbase yet. Plus the steering angle could use just a little bit more to correct. And I think maybe the bell crank system will make the steering action faster too overall, because right now there's a large swing on that servo and it takes it a while for it to recover. So if you flip the wheel real fast on the radio, it doesn't flip the wheel on the car that fast. It does, but it's getting there. So, and then the Huni car in the background there has got the chrome rims. It's all blinged out, and it's going to be receiving a front one-way diff shortly here as soon as it comes from Banggood. And it's going to be receiving a locked rear diff, and that one should be pretty good as a beginner car at that point. And then this one here will be the Grand Touring Special, and it has all the gizmos. what I'm doing before I'm putting the steering crank on is I'm trying a little something here with tuning. I put the shock spacer, the spring spacer back in this shock here, and took them out of the rear to soften it up. And also, if you're going to do a mount like this, make sure you check your gear lash and check it frequently, because using a plastic motor mount like this, if the motor gets hot and kind of really melts this, it may change the gear lash a little bit. So yeah, make sure you check on that once in a while. I think you'll be good. These gears down in here are plastic, they're fairly cheap. The metal pinion, I'll have to say, on the K969, if you don't have a pinion puller, you're going to risk messing up your motor by prying that pinion off. So just a little note, that brass pinion is on there good, so you may want to just take a little, some type of heat or something, and heat it up a little bit first before you try to pry it off, because otherwise you risk damaging your motor. So before you do anything like this, take note of that. I'm not responsible if you mess up your motor. Yeah, the back basically is the stock. I got the on and off switch right back here right now. I'm gonna do something with that. I don't know where I'm gonna mount it, but I used to have it over here on top of the servo, so I lost that ability. And the battery seems to sit back in here pretty good. You can move it backwards in order to shift the weight back, and I'm pretty sure I got, it's probably about a 55 to 60 40 split on the weight transfer. So I think with the spring tuning right up here, this will give us a little bit less steering, and by taking the spring spacers out from back here, this will give us a little bit more traction in the back end. So hopefully those two things kind of even out a little bit, and that makes it for a more enjoyable drift. Plus the tuning on the radio controls, you know, that's always a factor too. I don't have good settings yet. I have basic settings, so when I do get that set up for the Fly Sky, I'll let you know what those settings are. I am using the radial tires on the front, and I'm using a stock WLToys on a Kyosho rim in the back, and then these are the Kyosho rims too on the front. These are 3.5 offset, I think it is. I don't know if that's the right one or not. I think it should be a 0.5, or who knows. But anyways, they look good on the car. They work, and you can snag the tires off and put you some 3D printed tires on there, just like I did. And if you're interested in those files, just make a comment. So far nobody's commenting asking for the files, so I guess nobody wants them. If anybody does, just feel free to make a comment, message me, and we'll work it out somehow. So anyways, it's a little update on the WLToys K969, drivable again, and we're going to start having fun here, tuning and testing and doing all kinds of good stuff. So if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell if you want to be notified, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and help me build the channel here. If you want to see me race on the track that I'm building also, make sure you do all that stuff. So anyways, Mark's Home Hobby saying see you in the next one.